Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I would have given you this video last night, but I was too tired after just really enjoying that game and all the excitement that it brought. And watching Alabama dominate a team is always really great. But in general, I just wanted to kind of give you some of my initial thoughts on the game as I was watching and kind of as it wrapped up, and then I'll be coming back with some analysis videos of some of the plays. This is probably one of the most fun games I had watching for the entire season. Yes, a shutout. I saw a lot of good execution from the defense side of the ball, which is it does great things to my heart to see this. But anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, the defense was great, and I mean it. They executed so well across the board. The defensive linemen, they were monsters. They reset the line of scrimmage constantly. Their pass rushing was great. Christian Miller from the outside linebacker spot, he couldn't be stopped, but he was held so much. I mean, they were holding him. I mean, somebody made a funny comment on YouTube saying they were holding him like, you know, kids, you know, girls at a ball or at a carnival dance or something. Like they didn't want to let him go. They were holding his hands like two little kids walking down the hallway in elementary school. He couldn't get a call either. They just wouldn't call it. But also, Quentin Williams made himself even more money that he's been making himself all season. He was showing off his pass rushing skills, fighting the double team skills. He made some money in this game. They held him quite a bit too. They double teamed him so much, and even when they double teamed him, they couldn't block him, and they hugged him actually. I mean, they were like, they had hands around his waist, you know, like the prom picture, and you know, the guys behind the girl and the hands around the waist, and they smiled at the camera. They had him wrapped up like that. You know, they wanted him to know that he was loved with how much they were holding him. You watch that game over and over and over again. Watch number 92 and watch number 47 get held repeatedly throughout the game. And it was kind of crazy, but even with those holdings, we were still dominating LSU. I want to say, yeah, they had 196 total yards of offense for 4 quarters, 12 yards rushing. That's crazy. All right, so let's get also into these LSU DBs. I will give them their credit. The LSU defensive backs, in my opinion, they lived up to the hype. You know, a lot of people talked about how good their secondary was. They did that. I believe they actually did play pretty well. I actually believe they were super handsy, though. They were just holding on to our receivers quite a bit, but you know, I'll give them some credit for that. And by what I mean by that is that they were using veteran moves, little grabs and pulls of the jersey here and there. Levi Wallace from Alabama did that a few times last year too. So, you know, stuff that you can get away with that isn't too blatant where you don't get calls. The interesting thing, though, is that I believe some of their holdings and some of their pulling to the jerseys and stuff were a lot more blatant, and they could have been called, but they were not. But I'm usually not one to complain about referees missing calls or anything, because referees are going to miss calls. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like, you know, stuff like that just doesn't happen. They don't decide the outcome of the game, really. But a lot of people believe they do. They get upset. But either way, LSU defensive backs, in my opinion, they played fairly well. Greedy Williams, although he was probably the most handsy out of all the defensive backs, he was actually sticking with them pretty well, and I got to give him his credit for that. Also, let's talk about Tua. He threw an interception. It's okay. It's okay. You can let it out. It wasn't the end of the world, but he finally threw one. He threw an interception. And the interesting thing was that it wasn't like a bad read or anything, and I'll actually get into it a little bit more. The play he wanted to hit, it was to Jerry Jeudy down the field. It was open initially. Jerry Jeudy beat his defensive back off the line of scrimmage immediately. He was wide open to start the play. But if you notice, the pass rush came on this play. And I'll probably do an analysis of this play just so people can see it. But the pass rush came. Tua had to move and reset his feet. And by the time he did that and actually did throw the ball, the LSU safety number 33 caught up, and he was able to pick off the ball. And that's the reason why the interception happened, because there was actually pressure and Tua had to reset. So it wasn't too crazy. It was just a play. It's gonna happen. Stuff like that is going to happen. I'll say that in general, Tua held the ball way too long. Again, I've been saying this all year. He holds the ball too long. I think people don't realize that. There's times where you just have to get rid of the ball. I noticed a play early on one of the first drives. Jalen Waddle was wide open underneath, and he's holding the ball looking for a play down the field. And it's like, hit Jalen Waddle. He will make people miss. He has amazing speed, but a lot of times he's looking down the field. LSU had a good game plan for him. They knew that was going to be the case, and they tried. And here's the crazy part. Tua probably played an off game, and his off game was still 295 yards on 25 completions for 2 passing touchdowns, and he ran for 1. So that's an off game. I'll take it. He was 25 of 42, so the crazy good completion percentage didn't remain, but he still played really well. Sub 300 yards passing against one of the best secondaries in college football. And he even ran for a 44-yard touchdown on a hobbled knee. I mean, what more can you ask for from your quarterback? He's tough, but he said that knee was 100%. It's like, Tua, you need to chill out. We just need to put him in bubble wrap and rest for the rest of November. But then again, maybe we can't do that either because Jalen also is hurt. We need to rest up both Jalen and Tua, put in a third string quarterback, Mac Jones, and see if he can get us some wins to win out. But the last thing I'll mention, and we'll move on from the quarterbacks, is that Alabama ran the ball really well. I was really happy to see this. This game really got me happy because we ran the ball. Alabama was running the ball. 37 rushes for 281 yards, 7.6 yards per rush. Damian Harris had an amazing game. Josh Jacobs showed out a little bit when he was there. Najee Harris did well, and I really hope that severe ankle sprain that he got, that it heals up quickly. I feel really bad for the guy. He always runs hard and angry, and I always say that he runs so angry that he might hurt himself. I didn't realize that it actually might happen. So I feel bad for him, but it was a good game running the ball. Even Brian Robinson came in the fourth quarter and was running people over. It was really cool. I wish we would just do that more often. Like, people we already know we can pass, I say let's just run the ball down people's throat and then let Tua hit the play action all day, because you know he's going to hit it. And so it's cool to see Alabama running the ball again. At the end of the day, I think that's it for now. Like I said, I'm going to do some analysis plays. Let me know if there are certain plays from the game that you really want me to check out and break down, but I'll also be doing just some just because I really enjoyed this game. So I can't wait till I get access to the footage again. And yeah, be on the lookout. Let me know what you all thought about the game. What are your impressions? Leave them in the comments below and we can talk about them. All right, see ya.